It's obvious that you listen to this show to hear about and support other people's dreams. But what about yours? What is your dream project? I'm here to help you break through whatever is in the way of your dreams and get you to the finish line. Go to dreamingbigcoaching.com today and take the first step. Literally, it's a button you can click to sign up for a free consultation with me. Let's find out if I can help you reach your goal. Click on Take the First Step. It's that simple to start the rest of your life. Get coached by Rob Southgate at dreamingbigcoaching.com. Welcome back to Go Fund This, the podcast where you find out about the coolest crowdfunding campaigns out there that you're going to want to know about. I'm your host, Rob Southgate, and today I am joined by Mitch Breitweiser, Nick Amendolare, and Cathleen Gleason from Allegiance Arts to talk about the Indiegogo for the comic book, The Saints 2: Awakening. Here's Mitch, Nick, and Kathleen. Mitch, Nick, Kathleen, welcome to Go Fund This. I am really excited to talk to you today. I think this is so cool, this project. Let's get into it. I think the way we should start this is introducing yourselves. Mitch, why don't you go first?
Well, first, thank you, Rob, for having us on the show. Myself, I'm a 20-year veteran of the comic book industry as an illustrator, author, and creator. Spent many years working at Marvel, doing books like Drax the Destroyer, Captain America, and other franchise characters. In 2018, my wife, who's an Eisner-nominated color artist, we both started our own comic book company, essentially, called Allegiance Arts, where we premiered several titles and co-authored and produced alongside Nick here and Cathleen and others some really excellent comic book titles, debuting them into Walmart and many other places. And that's what brings us here today. So now we're launching this follow-up to our Saints project on Indiegogo, which brings us here to you, Rob. Thank you very much.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, I've got so many things to ask you. But before we do that, Nick, why don't you tell us people about you?
Absolutely. My name is Nicholas Amendolare. I'm the editor-in-chief for Allegiance Arts and Entertainment. And I came to Allegiance from the field of entertainment, film and television. I produced such shows as Chris Angel, Bridezillas, wrote and directed a film called Madam, worked on the Titanic, Fifth Element, and also produced and wrote a film called Hard Justice, amongst many things. And the rumors are true, Rob, I do make the best eggplant parmesan on this dais.
Well, you blew my follow-up question, but thank you for sharing that. That's exciting. So you want to tell your secrets? He went silent. Okay. And Kathleen, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Cathleen Brignac, and I'm our creative design director at Allegiance Arts. I came along and started basically as an intern and worked my way up, and now I'm controlling all the marketing and making every digital asset we put on our campaigns. So basically a digital artist publishing maven.
Excellent. I love it. Okay, so you know what? Let's do a little bit of the questions I have before we get into Saints 2. You guys have this background, these really diverse backgrounds. Allegiance Arts sounds incredibly cool. How many different titles have you put out?
The Saints is our fifth project or title, unique title. Yeah.
Cool. And have you done follow-up titles? Like, have you done a 2 for other titles, or is this the first time you're dipping your toe into that?
Well, we've done, each project has a slightly different format. So our project last year was called Nora's Saga, 136 pages, 6 chapters long. And this is The Saints, which is a follow-up to our first volume, which was a 52-page story. This volume is 44 pages. So it's a little more kind of hit you quick, turn it around, get you another one, just like a little extra thick comic book.
So it's funny, after you talked about your history here, I see it all over this, and I actually see number one, Mitch, the Marvel influence. I've done Marvel shows. Cool. I wouldn't say Marvel influencing you. I would say your influence on Marvel as a comic book creator This looks very much to me like the world of Daredevil and that kind of like that feel, that vibe, which is my favorite. So you've got me on this. This is amazing. And I encourage everybody to go to Indiegogo, look for The Saints 2 Awakening. Let's make it easy. I'm going to put links in the show notes. There'll be links on any social media you can click on. So you can go and you can check this out and you can support it. But when you see this artwork, when you see the vibe of this, you're going to want to jump right in, as many already have.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that, Rob. So it definitely is a gritty world. All of our projects at Allegiance Arts are very unique and different. They're in different genres with different styles. The Saints is a very grounded in reality kind of thriller project. So fans of Daredevil are going to really gravitate to a book like this. They want that gritty realism. This book delivers that in spades. But not to mention, actually, the Christian Rosado, our artist on this, just delivers an amazing presentation, visual presentation, with this high chiaroscuro cinematic style. So it's very grounded in reality, and I think fans of those kinds of books are really going to love this, and the art.
You also had Mike Barron on this too.
Yes, Mike
Barron has been featured on. Yeah, he's been featured on Alley Chats. I'm afraid of Mike's too, and he's phenomenal. Cool. So
yeah, we love Mike. He's a great storyteller, and we've learned a lot from him working on this book and in this process.
So Nick, I also see your influence here because this is very cinematic. The motion and everything. I'm sure you're looking at these and you're treating it like dailies. This is very cinematic, and I love that. This draws me in immediately.
That's a great comment. Not to this is no disparagement, but when I took over the writing and Mitch and I took over from Mike, we looked at this and we saw it as an intellectual property for a series or a film. And I said, I'm going to write it like you would a film script, and it should look like a film.
Yeah.
You could conceivably take Christian's art and use them as storyboards. We love layouts, and I know today it's not always done, but Christian's layouts are very detailed, and the layouts have the appearance of a cinematic storyboard, so that you could take that and go shoot your film. And that was the goal.
Well, you achieved it.
Saints.
You achieved it. That's what I see when I look at it.
Yeah, that's what we were going for. By the way, if you don't mind me cross promoting, we're doing a live chat tonight, YouTube, totally kick ass. We get to meet Christian Rosado for the first time. We haven't met him yet.
Oh, fun.
So we're doing our own live stream on our YouTube channel. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a quality hang, all you chatters out there. So squad up. We're ready to go.
Well, you put the heat on. I usually would post this 24 hours later, but I got to get this out today. I'll do it.
I'm an opportunist, Rob.
Hey, you know what? You and I are cut from the same cloth, man. I go on. They call me the hype machine whenever I guest on a podcast.
I love it. I have hype man written in my bio.
Yeah, I get it. We don't sell ShamWow, but we could.
But Vince does.
See, Vince is one of us. You know, a ShamWow smells its own hole. I don't know. I'm going for something there. So yeah, man, I really dig how cinematic this is. I really get the vibe off of it. And you're right. It's so comic book writing and movie writing are two different animals. I believe a lot of that has to do with the white space in between. But here, the white space is driving me to the next panel the way a film does. And that really is effective.
It's funny you should say that. When I started writing more, I had a learning curve, and Mitch would read the script and go, Nick, this is panels.
Right.
People don't walk in the panels.
Right.
You have to get them. So I would miss beats. Like, Pete walks across the room, slaps his roommate.
Like a film writer is doing. Yep.
Right. It's like, Nick, you just can't write it like that. You've got to have the beats to get Pete across the room. I'm like, really? And I went, oh yeah, Banana Head. It's a series of beats. It's not just shots.
Right.
And it took a couple of passes for me to get out of that habit.
Yeah. Well, I think that you've got it all coming together. I am so excited to read this. I actually haven't read Saints 1, and now I'm all in on Saints 1. It's just it's drawing me in. And once again, like I said, Mitch, it's that damn Daredevil look that just it draws. I'm a huge Daredevil fan. Way before the show, I've been a Daredevil fan forever, and I'm like, God, it's just there's something about that grittiness, that realism. It's exciting.
Yes, and we have to give all the credit on that, or most of the credit, to Christian Rosado, our illustrator on this book out of Peru. He's not only laying out the book, drawing it, inking it, he's also coloring it. He's done some amazing covers for this project. The cover for volume 2 here is done by Butch Geis, who's a legendary American illustrator, and colors by me on the volume 2 cover. But Christian's got some phenomenal color work on the interiors of this. We've watched an artist who has a advertising background in South America, and so this is in many ways his breakout into American comic books.
Wow!
And this is, the level of talent he's bringing on what you'd consider really kind of a step out project for this artist is just humongous. So, and I know this is a podcast medium, so listeners can't necessarily visualize this without context. So I'd highly encourage you to go click the Indiegogo link, take a look at Christian's work. You're watching someone who's going to have a major influence on the future of comic book illustration, in my opinion. He's very professional, very kind. So I think if the art doesn't convince you, I'd be quite surprised. And then along with the art, you get as a bonus a really banger of a thriller in this. So it's a heck of a package. I encourage your listeners to go and check it out.
If you don't mind, Rob, Mitch is being really modest. Even if this isn't your cup of tea story-wise, you need to buy the book just for the cover. The colors are amazing, and it has what I would say the feel of the 1970s poster art.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. I mean, it is jaw-dropping, and they did a hell of a job. And Christian has an alternate cover that's equally beautiful. And the whole don't judge a book by its cover, in this case, you can, because the insides matches the outsides.
Right.
I'm here to hype, Rob.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. And in fact, I'm agreeing with you. And you got an angry nun on the cover. I mean, that spells
stern. She's stern.
Oh, stern. Okay.
She's got a lot of weight on her shoulders, Rob. We can't tell you, that's bad sportsmanship, but there's a lot going on for her. She's been around. She's seen things.
I'm getting a little sense of anger in there too, but it might be just an underlying nun anger. It might be there.
A righteous anger. Righteous anger.
That is coming soon to Indiegogo, Saints Volume 3, Righteous Anger.
Not a bad title.
Actually, you know what? We don't have a title for Volume 3. We haven't set one. I kind of like that.
That might have just happened. See how things go?
It did just happen, actually. I'm like, I'll put that on the cover. I got no shame.
So Cathleen, now I know we want to get to the project, but I actually want to talk to you a little bit because you're doing the marketing end of this, right? That's really like your focus is the assets and getting things out there for promoting an Indiegogo like this. This is going to get weird and nerdy, but we have a lot of people that listen that are actually trying to do these types of things. Did you go in with I'm going to put on my MBA hat here. Did you go in with strategy, goals, or was it I just want to promote that we have an Indiegogo?
Well, we definitely have key points that we kind of hit with our campaigns. We always do a live launch. We already know that kind of stuff's coming. But basically, we just try to promote the artwork as much as possible and be very comic book art forward. So basically, when I start a campaign and start doing the assets, everything is looking at the artwork from our comics, seeing the best moments, picking not spoilers necessarily, but things that are going to catch you and things that are going to bring you into the book. And then finding ways to create banners from that, to create, little Twitter marketing images. And then me, Mitch, and Nick, we actually work together on a lot of the copy that goes with that marketing. So everything that's in the campaign, we work together on all the copy to describe the book, to describe all the perks, and kind of give you a real look into what you're getting as a backer. And then as far as posting to social media, it's finding whatever the catchiest way is to sell whichever book it is at the time. So if it's Saints, we're kind of action packed and thriller and hype, that's our hits for that, basically.
Now, are you, of the social media that you're pushing out there, because I know that's going to be generally the best reach out, what would you say is the outlet that you personally enjoy using the most?
Well, social media is kind of a strange world nowadays,
Yeah.
but there are some points that we always hit. YouTube is definitely our live streaming kind of method. And then as far as marketing social media, we do Facebook and Twitter, but we also do Instagram to kind of show off the artwork. But Twitter is kind of the fastest pickup. You'll see a lot of like Twitter clicks on the campaign. Yeah. So that's probably our hitting most people kind of social media.
Right. I would think that Instagram would be good for the art, but I don't know if it's good for the click through,
Exactly. Right. Unless you have like a link tree, which we do have the link in our bio so that you can kind of go straight to whatever campaign is live at the moment. But we also send out MailChimp, which is kind of our newsletter run. So that gets to all of our previous backers and all of our readers that have signed up through our website.
Excellent. One last question, marketing nerd question. So you said you do your live YouTube streaming. What are you doing on there? Are you doing like interviews with people involved? Are you doing content to kind of like, hey, let's have some fun here for engagement? What is your YouTube presence?
Yeah, we're kind of just getting back into the YouTube foray as our campaigns are coming out. But usually we try to have people on, like we had Mike Barron on for our live launch for the Saints here. So we either try to have a writer or one of the creators. The artists are kind of all over the country and the world, so sometimes we can't have them, but sometimes we've had the artists on as well. So we usually just kind of talk through whatever the project is, and then we do have chats live, so we have comments come through, and we'll address whatever comments come in, and just kind of have a good time with our readers and talk about the Saints at the time.
Cool. So once again, in the show notes, links to all this stuff, including the link tree, will be in the show notes. So I encourage you to check this stuff out. I love nothing more than seeing the interviews with the artists, the writers, the people behind the scenes. When I do it with like games, I love to hear the world builder. I even love to hear the Discord guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love that. That all sounds fantastic. And you'll get Mike going if you start talking about Florida Man. So next time he's on, just bring that up and you'll have a whole show just on Florida Man. Okay. Oh, yeah. We've wasted enough time just chatting. Let's talk about this project. Can you describe the Saints? What is the story? Essentially, nutshell.
Well, I'm going to pitch it a little bit differently this time. So we have an awesome character, a hero character in this, Jean-Marc Lapointe, who is essentially a renegade, a contemporary renegade archaeologist, social media savvy, glory hound. I'm going to give you the setup to episode 1 and 2, not just this one, because it sets up the whole world. Cool. Kind of a jerk, famous, at the height of his fame, a very divisive figure, kind of poo-pooed by the scientific establishment, but a roguish guy that goes his own way and sells his books and makes his way and lives kind of a playboy lifestyle. So kind of a jerk, a character you don't really want to like. Well, he's on the cusp of a discovery that's going to not only change his life forever, but it may rewrite the history of the entire world. But in doing so, he pisses off just the wrong secretive group that would like to keep that hidden, of course. And that sends his life spiraling out of control. And he ends up essentially in his relentless pursuit of the truth. He's thrust into this murderous underworld of archaeological espionage in this very high stakes game that threatens the foundations of everything we understand about reality. And so that is the rabbit hole that Jean-Marc Lapointe goes through. And that is the world of the Saints.
Ah, fantastic. Okay, so this is book 2, Awakening. And we've already talked a little bit about what is entailed here. Let's focus on the tiers. You've got a few tiers here that people can get in on. What do you want to highlight? What do you think people are going to get excited about?
I think people, assuming a lot of your listeners are new to the Saints, you're going to want to get the featured perk, which is the $30 perk that features the first printing of Volume 2, as well as a reprint of Volume 1, and that's going to be a total of 96 pages of story, of Christian's work, of Mike and the team's great storytelling. So it's a pretty great bang for the buck as far as comic book packages go. So that's the one you're going to want to start with. You can also get this book signed by Nick and myself, which is just a really kind of a great second feature for this. Or you can just get Volume 2 if you already own Volume 1, or you just want to sample the Saints, you can pick up Volume 2. So it's pretty pared back as far as this Indiegogo goes. What we want to do is get you these as quickly as possible. This book is complete. It's lettered. This is a kind of an unusual thing for the comic book crowdfunding space. This book is done in advance, ready to go to print. These are essentially pre-orders. We're ready to get this done and get it into customers' hands as quickly as possible, then turn around and give you Volume 3.
Awesome. We might as well talk about this part too. This is not the elephant in the room. This is the part that I always feature and I love. You've got 46 days left as of right now, which means we're going to post this today. So there's still 46 days left. Thanks, Nick, for making me have to put it up today. Your goal was $1,000, which right now you've already crushed. You're at 6,228. So this is a project that people are behind. Those of you that don't know this project, you can see there's love here. You want to get in on this. You want to support this. You want to follow this, and you want to get Saints 3 when that one Indiegogo goes, because it's going to be dedicated to me and my brilliant naming of it. Yeah, right. But yeah, this campaign, the fact that it's already got its funding and has blown it out here. I mean, 600%. Come on, 622%. Let's get specific. Shows that this thing, there's a lot of juice behind it. You definitely want to get in on this. You want to support this. And this is something I've talked about on this show a lot. When you have a project like this, so it's not just about the project. This type of Indiegogo is the fuel that keeps Allegiance Arts going. It propels you into the next project. That's why it's so important. When you have somebody who's like, I've got one comic book and I'm trying to put it out and all the funding is going to that. And at the end, God help me, I get into the black on it, is very different than we've got a company. We're working on these projects. We're building into the next thing. We need to go over the goal to fuel this thing. And that's where we're at right now. So yes, support it. The other thing you can do, broken record, share it. You don't know who out there is going to look at this, see these images and go, hell yeah, I want to see a Saints movie. I got to buy this so they get some interest. And then Netflix wants to make a Saints show, which let me call Netflix. I think we should have a Saints show. Yeah.
Oh, things have happened. So.
Yes, they have.
From your mouth to God's ears, Rob.
That's what I try to do. I think I connected it today. It goes right to God's ear. Well, look afterwards. See if I got that. So yeah, this is fantastic. Now, I'm going to ask this question. I know the answer to it, but I want you to explain it. There are no stretch goals here, correct?
That is correct. No stretch goals. You'll notice this is a kind of a pared back campaign. We want to keep you focused in on this great art, this great storyline. Like I said earlier, the book is complete and it's ready to print. This is essentially a pre-order. It's what we want to do is get customers' books as quickly as possible, then turn it around and do another one. So this is a little bit of a new thing for us. Previously, we've offered a lot of accoutrements and bookmarks and stickers and the whole thing. But we want to get you a great comic book that we love and believe in 110%. To you as quickly as possible. So it's about serving the customers and getting more story made as quickly as we can.
Excellent. The Allegiance Arts website, can they get past books? You've got, you said different titles. Can they still purchase through your website?
Yes, they can. So we have all of our books in digital format are available as we deliver our crowdfunding campaigns. The backers get their books first. So as we've fulfilled this Nora's Saga project, you're going to see Nora's Saga graphic novels populated on allegiancearts.com soon. You can still jump in on our Bass Reeves Indiegogo, which is an amazing Western project with Kevin Grievous and David Williams. And that one's still available for pre-order for a very short window of time. But there are Allegiance books out there on our website, and of course, Bass on Indiegogo and the Saints on Indiegogo. So there's a wide selection. And we're also on Amazon in terms of Kindle readership.
Great. Wonderful. So there is a second Indiegogo currently going?
Bass Reeves that we launched a number of months ago with artist David Williams and writer Kevin Grievous of Underworld fame.
Hold on.
Very
I'm looking
talented
this up.
group on that. Yes. So maybe we can swing back to that another time.
I would love that.
I think your audience would be interested in that. Premier creators working with us here at Allegiance Arts.
Okay. So right there, let's have you back on for that. I will put a link in the show notes though to that so that anyone that wants to go and check it out before they hear us talk about it can get in there. Here it is. I'm looking at it right now. What is our time frame on this one? Is this West of Hell?
West of Hell. Essentially, we are finishing it up and getting it to the printer. So the book it's in demand. The campaign has long since been finished. It's been in an in-demand store, and we're just mopping up the last nuts and bolts and sending it off to the printer.
I tell you what, this is going to be a nice lay-in. We're not going to have you on Go Fund This for that. We'll put the links to Bass Reeves in here so people can check it out. I'm going to have you on Alley Chats, and we're going to get into this. We'll give it a little bit of time. So anyone listening to this, you want to hear about this stuff, you can hear these guys on Alley Chats, and we'll get into a little bit more, less businessy talk and a little bit more fun about this stuff.
That would be so much fun. I miss Artist Alley days back when I was a young buck artist touring the convention scene. So I think we'll feel right at home there, and definitely looking forward to that.
I'm excited to have you guys on. So I'm going to turn this to Kathleen. What social media would you like the audience to follow you on?
So we are at Allegiance Arts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all across the board. And you can find all of our beautiful art. You can find, little snippets of our previous campaigns and what's going on at Allegiance Arts. Facebook's generally where we hit first. So if you're trying to follow what's happening right now, you can join that Facebook.
Wonderful. And once again, all of this, it will be in the show notes. Indiegogo, the Saints 2 from Allegiance Arts. This is what you want to follow. You want to get in on. Wait, is it Allegiance Arts? Am I saying it wrong? No, it's Allegiance Arts.
Yeah, you're right on.
You got it.
You know what? It's one of those mornings. I think I need more coffee ASAP. So we're going to go so I can do that. Nick, Mitch, Kathleen, this was great having you guys on. Good luck with this. I mean, we're already there, but you've got Nick on it. He's out there hyping this thing. Let's blow the doors off it. Let's make it hit what West of Hell has hit, which those of you that haven't seen has blown the doors off of it. So let's do that. Thank you, guys.
Let's do it. Thank you, Rob.
What an awesome comic book. I am confident you will love it. You definitely want to get in here and check it out. The Saints 2 Indiegogo campaign ends on June 10th. Follow the link in the show notes so you can support this Indiegogo and get your own copy of this amazing comic. Thanks again to Nick, Mitch, and Kathleen for coming on the show and sharing this incredible project with us. If you or anyone you know has a crowdfunding effort about to launch or currently going, send them our way. We love to share cool projects and to help people reach their goals. You can connect with me through the Go Fund This Podcast Facebook page or via email directly to rob@smgpods.com. You can find a link to this Indiegogo and any links we discussed in the show notes. Go Fund This is a production of Southgate Media Group, hosted, edited, and produced by me, Rob Southgate. Thanks again for listening to Go Fund This.